Hey everybody, we're talking about self-love today. You're with Tanisha Ali, and this is one of my favorite topics. And the main reason why it's one of my favorite topics is because today I really understand what self-love is about. I remember back in the day when I had a false sense of confidence and a false sense of self. I thought I loved myself, but myself would actually have told a very different story. I had no real idea what self-love was really about and what it really involved and how my outward actions communicated everything except self-love. Now, while I'm still growing into this process of fully loving myself unconditionally, as witnessed in the decisions that I make to honor who I am as somebody, I am on the path and I've grown in such a way. I wanted to share some things with you guys that you really need to look at in your life to ask yourself and to determine what really is self-love and how am I showing love to myself. So if this seems like a topic that you'd be interested in, stick around, make sure you like, subscribe, click that thumbs up button, share this video, and please be sure to comment and let me know, like, how are you loving on yourself, okay? I don't think I'm going to be editing this video, so I'm just going to keep on talking. But if you hear the music, then you know I changed my mind. I went ahead and edited. But self-love is a state of being, all right? It's a state of gratitude and appreciation for the essence of who you are, and it allows you to truly protect, honor, and nurture your body, mind, and spirit without compromise. That's what self-love is, and it can play out in a lot of ways, but essentially self-love gives you a real deep sense of somebodyness. Okay, I am somebody. I am proud to be who I am. I love myself unconditionally. I am connected. I accept who I am in all of my perfect imperfections. And last but not least, I am connected to my own divinity within. So let's talk about some of the things that can really help us to get grounded in how we can assess what self-love is in our life. When I'm working with my clients and when I look at my life, I've come up with a paradigm which I call the 5 pillars of the community of self. And the 5 pillars of the community of self means that you can take any aspect of your life and you can evaluate it from these 5 critical pillars in terms of your relationship with each pillar. And the first relationship is the relationship with the divine. The second is the relationship with self, which is where this falls, but it also, you will find self-love in many other areas of your life, and your healing will overflow into other areas which are also important to our human and material existence. Your relationship with your finances, your relationship with your health, and your relationship with other people. Now, when I say your relationship with your finances, I'm talking about career and finance together. So these are the 5 pillars. So when I look at what self-love is, I apply that as the backdrop to giving a more holistic view of helping you to understand what self-love is. Because I really think, I know for many years, I had a super artificial view of what self-love was. Self-love is not standing in the mirror and saying affirmations, saying that I love myself, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. Self-love is not even standing in the mirror naked only and loving on your body, even though that's a part of it. That's one little aspect of it. Self-love is not going to get your fingernails done and getting your hair did. Okay, that's not self-love. Those are superficial ways that we relate to self-love because we really haven't gone in and assessed what is our relationship with self. So let's talk a little bit about that today. Self-love has to do with a lot of different things. In terms of relationship to self, it's about listening to your body's wisdom. It's about being attuned to what your body's needs are, whether it's literally food, but also what your body's trying to tell you in communication, whether it be we don't like this person doesn't feel good to us, even though your mind might be in conflict, to, we don't like it when you eat this particular food. It forces us to have a difficult time in digestion. listening to your body's wisdom and honoring your body's wisdom, because your body's wisdom is way more wise than this. Your body has a DNA energetic blueprint that goes back millions and millions of years. So the wisdom within it and the way that it communicates with us can guide our lives to those things that are for our highest end. So that's really, really, really important, listening to your body's wisdom. Number 2, not allowing other people to project their baggage onto you and being okay with validating yourself absent of what anybody else thinks. I like to say I can be a very careless person, and I love that about myself because I didn't used to be careless. I could care less about really what other people think if it is not aligned with what I feel or my highest intentions. What other people think is not my business. What other people think about you is not your business either. What is your business is what is aligned with the deepest part of who you are. So don't allow other people to project their baggage onto you. Don't allow them to give you their definitions and their opinions of how you should live your life, because they don't have to live your life. You're the one that has to live your life. Something as simple as someone telling you what you need to do, and then after they've gone, after they've dropped their projection onto you, you're left wondering, well, do I need to do that? Well, maybe I should, but their projection has nothing to do with you. That's their baggage. So don't let people project their opinions, their thoughtless views, their need to control, their jealousies, their hostilities, or whatever it is. Do not allow them to project that onto you. Setting boundaries and being able to say no, which is honoring your temple, okay, body, mind, and spirit. That can be one of the most difficult things to do because we're conditioned in society to be yes people all the time. Yes, 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 yes. And then we leave ourselves off of that list. And at the end of the day, we're exhausted, we're emotionally depleted, and we have nothing to give to ourselves. So learning how to set and honor, keyword honor, which means execute, which means enforce. We all have boundaries. We all have things that we don't like people to do, but do you enforce them? Do you hold people accountable when they violate your boundaries? Do you take yourself out of circulation, or do you make yourself inaccessible when people cross your boundaries? What is the consequence when someone crosses your boundaries? Because remember, we teach people how to treat us every single day. All right. And they treat us based upon what they learn about how much we value ourselves. Number 4, listening and valuing your intuition. Big, big, big connection to self-love. Why? Because when you value your intuition, you listen to your intuition. And when you listen to your intuition, you can know you are always moving in accord to, or in accord with, what is in your best interest, because your intuition will never lead you astray. So you're moving in accord of what is in your best interest, but you're also trusting yourself, which is another form of self-validation, which says, you know what, I am enough. I don't need validation from outer sources. I am grounded within my own being. Only I know what is best for me. Okay, next on that list, number 5, are you connected to spirit? Do you have a relationship with the divine? How deep is that relationship? Do you nurture that relationship? Is it comprised of more than just prayer? Prayer is where, as you know, we connect with the divine. Meditation and spirituality is about listening and allowing the divine to work through your life and surrendering. Okay? It's not comprised of rituals and things that are set up outside of you that act as mediators between you and source. Spirituality is the work that you do to come to know yourself and the divine more. So are you connected with that? If you're connected with that, then you're connected with your own divinity. When you're connected with your own divinity, you already know that self-love is already something that you already possess. It's not something you have to go after. It's not something that's outside of you. It's something that perhaps you lost your connection with, but it doesn't exist outside of you. And you know that if you are of the divine, okay, and you share that same energetic vibration and you come from source, whether you look at it as some religions do, as that God has breathed breath, the ruh, or the spirit into man, or God has made man in his image, or however you look at that, you know that you are within that same energy. And if you truly understand that, then you know you're already perfect. You already know that no more can be added to you and no more can be taken away. So finding time, number 6, to cultivate a relationship with the divine in your life is so important. That is something that we work at, okay? That is something that we don't come to overnight. It's something that we have to reconnect with, because there are too many things in our world that take us far away from that. Spending quality time with yourself and having a ritual of self-care. You got to do it. You can't spend your days allowing the world to take from you, allowing your loved ones to take from you, whether they be your children, your lover, your spouse, your friends, whomever, and you have not set time aside for yourself. The only person who does that is someone who wants to crash and burn, and someone who doesn't know any better. So if there's somewhere in your life where you're not putting yourself first, and you haven't quite made the connection that you can't really love anybody else fully until you love yourself, the more that I've come to love myself, the better mother I am, the more I can love my children. The more that I've come to love myself, the easier it's been for me to shed energies of people who mean me no good. And that brings me on to maybe number 7, I think, which is when you love yourself, you sever your ties with discordant energies, with energy vampires, with people who use you, with people who abuse you emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. You do not have time for those types of distractions in your life. And it doesn't matter who they are. They can be as close to you as your arm, okay? You've seen people that have had to have limbs amputated because those limbs became toxic, right? And if they continue trying to nurse one limb, the poison would spread throughout the body. Of course, those are extreme measures, and this is a very extreme line of thinking. But what I'm saying is, you find ways to minimize the impact that negative situations and people have on you. If it's a job that's driving you crazy and making you unhappy, you love yourself enough to go get something that's better, where you can feel appreciated and where you can be happy. If it's a relationship that's draining the hell out of you, and you're dealing with someone that is an energy vampire, and every time you turn around, they're crying the blues about something, they haven't healed their inner child, they're doing no work to pull themselves up in their life. In other words, they're an adult child, okay? And we know a lot of people like that who are adult children. They are not concerned with bettering their lives. All they want to do is drain off and leech off of your life force energy. When you love yourself, you find ways to cut those energies out of your life, and you find ways to prevent them from coming in. I can tell you that with me being empathic and me being the type of individual that I am, that has been the most difficult thing for me, because I love people and I tend to see people through the lenses of rose-colored glasses, and I project my light onto other people, and sometimes it has made it difficult for me to actually see who they are in and of themselves without me projecting. And so I have found myself in situations in my life where I was with people, or I had friends, or I was involved in situations with individuals who never should have even known my last name, let alone my first name. But it's time out for all of that. I have grown, and you will too. You start with the people that are closest to you, that are draining the heck out of you. And if these are people that you can work with, who are trying to move their lives forward, then you work with them. You work with them, okay? And you realize that it is an organic process that can take time to transform. Those are not the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who are narcissistic. I'm talking about the people who are selfish, self-absorbed, self-centered, the people who drain you, the people who make you broke, the people who keep your finances out of whack because they can't carry their own weight in life, the people who've built nothing in their life and are happy to see you not do as well, or who cannot celebrate in your success, or the people who have not invested in their lives so they could care less. There's a Somali proverb that says, if somebody's house, if your house is burning down, you don't care if somebody else's house catches on fire. That's the reality. If your house is on fire, how can you worry about your neighbor's house catching fire when you're trying to put the fire out in your own house, or you're watching the fire in your house? So what that says is, if somebody has not put the time and energy into their own life, do you really expect them to value what it is you are actually trying to preserve or build in your own life? Giving yourself the freedom to be who you are, number 8, without apology. Not caring if someone gives a damn that you wear a bindi on your forehead, or that you wear fingernail polish, or that you choose to do your hair a certain way. Not caring anymore or giving any more energy to the things that imprison you, that strip you of your life force energy and your sovereignty. Cleaning that stuff off and being done with it, okay? That's how you love yourself. Reaching for your dreams. This is the mindset work. Eliminating the energies of your own thinking and the enemy within, the inner critic that sabotages you. Realizing and giving yourself the freedom to live your dreams and to live passionately and to learn ways of thinking that aid you in your quest for self-fulfillment and emotional fulfillment. This is living your passion, knowing your divine purpose, and not allowing anything to stop you from moving forward in your life, but being grateful for the gift of life. When you are grateful for the gift of life day in and day out, it allows you to make important mental and emotional shifts in your life that raise your vibration. That is an act of love that you give yourself. It is a gift that you give yourself. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the way that our dietary habits, the way that we feed ourselves, the way that we feed ourselves in terms of food, the way that we feed ourselves in terms of the situations we allow ourselves to be exposed to, the spiritual and the soul food that we give ourselves. When you love yourself, and this is where I'm currently struggling because my body is rebelling against certain things that I've needed to cut out of my diet for some time now, and I'm continuing to hurt my body because I'm a slave to these particular items. If you've watched my channel, you know it's wheat and dairy, okay? And these things are harming my body, and I'm working more diligently to wipe them out permanently from my diet, or at least to only consume them on an extremely limited basis, because I do believe in balance, and I do believe that our bodies metabolize energy differently, and it's the energy that we put into the food in terms of our thoughts and the energy of preparation, and the way that our bodies metabolize and chemicalize and alchemize what we eat that makes a difference as well. So I do believe that we all have particulars that we need to be mindful of, which really brings me back to the first point about the wisdom of your body. But trying to really take better care of my body, okay? I've done a great job of working on my mind. I don't expose myself to things that are self-defeating. I don't allow negative energies to even get past first base with me. I don't even deal with negative programming like media, things of that nature. I'm not in that box, but I have other challenges, and you may have other challenges. Being able to watch what you feed yourself on all levels of your being, and being vigilant to make sure that all of you, body, mind, spirit, soul, all of you is getting the nutritive requirements that particular part of yourself needs. If it's mental, are you around people who are intellectually stimulating? Are you growing? Are you growing yourself? If it's physical, are you getting enough rest in the evening? There's the lovely Albie. Are you getting enough rest in the evening? Are you taking care of yourself? So these are some of the dietary things that I'm talking about. I think I've covered just about everything else that I think is really, really, really important. The last thing I'm going to mention is going to be investing in yourself. This is something that's often very much overlooked. Okay, you came here to grow. You came here to learn. You came here to evolve. Granted, all of the knowledge is within you. Your deepest wisdom to move your life forward. Anything that you could possibly need, your deepest wisdom has been in here long before you even incarnated. However, there are catalysts and ways that we have to initiate that, and it involves us learning from other people. It involves us interacting and exchanging information and networking with people and growing ourselves. We do not exist within a vacuum. A very important component of you loving yourself is giving yourself the spiritual and personal development that you so need to soar like a bird, okay? Getting out of your cocoon and into your wings. That is something that people don't realize. People want change in their life. It's like Lauryn Hill said, people want the fantasy, but what they need is the reality. And you've heard me say before, everybody wants to go to heaven, nobody wants to die. People want to sit back and give lip service to what they want to do. Oh, I want to do this in 2020, I want to do that, but they don't want to invest in themselves. They don't want to be inconvenienced. They don't want to make sacrifices. They don't want to put money where their mouth is. They want to sit in the same cesspool that they've been in, which has created the situation that they continue to be in, and they want to aspire to do all of these things without giving themselves the tools to actually do them. And you guys know when I talk about the work that has to be done, because I work with a lot of people in my profession, I'm really about business. I don't like to play a lot. I like people to take responsibility for the things that they say they want in their lives. I don't like people making excuses, and I want to see progress, because that's what I require of myself, and I know that it's possible. And believing is more than half the battle. You are the magic. You bring the magic to your life. So investing in yourself, giving yourself what you need in order to grow, taking classes, enrolling in seminars, workshops, getting, spiritual mentoring, coaching, whatever it is that you need to help you grow, going to meetups, stimulating your mind, learning new things, going to healing retreats. You have to put your effort and your money where your mouth is. Why? Because when we give something, we make sure we get something back. When we give something, we receive. When you invest in yourself, you are more likely to roll up your sleeves and do the work. So I'm Tanisha Ali of Butterfly Transformations, helping you to gain clarity, up-level your mindset, clear and heal energetic and emotional blockages, and manifest the glory of God that is within you. Join me for the 30-day self-love challenge that is coming up on my Patreon channel, patreon.com/Tanisha Ali. Join me for that challenge. It's going to start on the 17th of February, but tomorrow, the 1st, we're starting the 11-day money manifesting challenge. Learn how to actually put your words into something that's going to produce something in your life. Raise your vibration by embracing activities each and every day that are designed to help you move more into the energy of self-love, that are designed to help you identify the ways and the things that you're doing in your life already that are not loving on you. Join the evolution. Glad tidings, and to my beautiful butterflies and perfect people, I'm getting ready to sign out. I'm giving you all a shout out for those of you who are giving love donations to the channel. For those of you who are joining me on Patreon, we are soaring to new heights. I love y'all all. Sending much love to you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Whatever it is that you're doing, find your prosperity within. Find your peace and your productiveness, abundance, blessings, and illuminations to your success.